What's up YouTube, JabberTech here. Today's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's Watch Face Wednesday, and today we're going to take a look at another great watch by Thema, and this one is called Swift. It is a freemium model, but if you want some fancier options, you will have to shell out about $1.19, which is still pretty cheap in my opinion, definitely for a watch face of this caliber and of this quality. So let's get right into it and check out Swift. So looking at the design, it's really nice. You have the second marker that goes around, and you'll see that as the seconds pass, it sort of notches out a little bit or empties out depending on how you look at it. And then you have your time, you have your seconds that are also displayed in digital format as well as in this analog ring. You have the day, the date, and the year. And then you have your watch battery as well as your mobile battery. And then on the side here, you have 3 rings that you can customize. And you also have 4 shortcuts in each quadrant of the display. With Thema's watch faces, you have a lot of backgrounds that you can choose from, and I'm not going to go over all of them, but let me just show you the list. You probably have about 25 to 30 here, and there are tons and tons of ones that you can go over, so I'm just going to show you some of my favorite ones. This one here is called Carbon. So you see it has a nice carbon fiber background to it. Really nice. Another one of my favorites that I usually use most of the time is this military one. I like this one. Definitely a camo look to it. Really, really nice. And then also I'll show you the light wood one. And that's what it looks like. But there are tons of backgrounds that you can choose from. So I have no doubt that you will find one that you really enjoy. So looking at the elements option here, it changes all the rings on the watch face itself. So you can see that there. Let me change it to another color so you can see what I mean. I'll change it to a white. And you can see that everything there basically changed to white. Another option we have here is called this blending background color. And what that does is it changes the color of the background that you picked. So if you look at the camo, and if I change that to say a darker color, you can see that the blending option changed the camo a little bit. And if I change it to a lighter color, you can see that there. So really within the 30 options that you can change here, if you change it to an Elmwood, you definitely have another 30 or 40 that you can do just by messing around with these colors. And I'll show you another one there. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Really nice. So it changes that light wood into kind of a darker wood if you want. So tons and tons of options for you to choose from. Another option here is called those display dots. And that's what I showed you earlier in this video. If you take a look at those dots, that shows you the seconds, but if you don't like it, you can take it off, and that also gives your watch face a new design. I personally like the dots. I think that's pretty cool. Moving on to the next option, you see the widgets. You can change any one or all of those 3, and you have the options to choose from weather, mobile battery, step counter, unread SMS, unread Gmail, missed calls, your heartbeat, none, or you can add a complication with Android Wear 2.0. So for me personally, I put the steps, the weather, and then my heart rate. I really like seeing that at a glance, and you can change these. If you don't want all 3 of them, you just change the option to none, and it'll take them away. Maybe you just want to see the weather, and that's cool too. But I know this is a smartwatch, and at least for me, I like to see as much as possible. So I'm going to put those back there, and you can change those around if you like. Moving on, if you look at the 4 quadrants of the watch, you'll see I have maps, battery, flashlight, and settings. Those 4 options there are shortcuts, and you can change those to what you like. And the choices that you have, if you'd like to change those, are flashlight, settings, translate, desk clock, timer, Google Maps, agenda, Hangouts, stopwatch, find my phone, none, or a custom application. So what I've done for mine, I put a shortcut to battery, and that will open up my battery application on my watch. So let me just tap that for you so you can see it. And that opens up my battery settings so that I can change it quickly. So it's not a shortcut to your battery life that's left. And let me just show you what options you have if you choose custom. If you choose custom, what you'll have to do, you'll have to set it up on your watch. So what you do is you click on custom, and then that'll open up a list for you to choose from. So it's basically any app that you have listed on your watch you can use in a custom application, and that's really cool. So say you're someone that uses Shazam a lot, you can just have a quick shortcut to Shazam. These do work well. All you have to do is make sure you tap it right in the middle of the actual word, and it opens up pretty quickly. So that's a nice feature to have. And if you don't want them, all you have to do is select none, and that'll get rid of all your shortcuts. Moving right along to the other options, you have the basic ones for your refresh rate for weather and for your heartbeat. So I have a heartbeat listed up there. Mine is set to every 30 minutes, but you can have it check your heartbeat as often as every 15 seconds if you want, or up to 60 minutes being the longest. And the same with weather, you can choose 1 hour or up to 12 hours for the refresh rate. Getting into ambient mode, this is where things get really interesting, and I really like the way he does his ambient mode. So this is what you can see at the most basic setting, but you can get really interesting with the ambient mode section here. So this one will save the most battery, and if you're battery conscious, this is the one that you'll want to have, but you can also change that. So you'll see if you put into black and white mode, you will also see those data points that you set up on your actual watch will show up on your ambient mode. So if you have missed calls set up as one of those points, it'll show up here as well in ambient mode. So you don't have to turn on the screen to figure out if you have any missed calls. It'll just show you there on ambient. That's really cool. And then to make things even more interesting, if you show ambient mode decoration, it'll also show you the rings and the outline. So this is ambient mode. And if we turn the watch on, that's what it looks like. So basically everything you see on the watch will be turned into black and white, and you'll see the decoration. And I think that's super cool. Really, really stylish, very modern, very clean looking, really nice design. So leaving ambient mode decoration on, if you go back to that basic setting of eco, which is on by default, and you select the decoration as well, this is what you're presented with. So basically you're presented with everything but what's inside the data fields. And that actually looks pretty cool too, in my opinion. So you can have this look any way you want in ambient mode. And the really, really cool one is the full ambient mode. And that basically shows you everything that you have in non-ambient mode. And this is what it looks like in ambient mode. So it basically is your full watch displayed in ambient. And again, this will take the most power, but if you're out and about and you want something that looks stylish, you can definitely choose this one. So getting out of the full ambient mode, let's put it back to the eco. If you see this one, you have another option that I really like. You can change the ambient mode color. So if you want to save even more battery, you can make it a shade darker. And that's what I just changed there. And if we change it again, that's what it looks like. So this is a really nice option for those of you that really want to save battery. Not to mention the brightness. If you change the color from white to say a shade of gray, the brightness will go down a little bit, so it won't be as glaringly in your face if you're out in a dark restaurant or a bar. It'll just keep things a little bit more on the low. That's a really nice feature. Well done for putting that in, and I hope to see more Android Wear developers do that as well for their watch faces. I think it's a great option. Really cool. I like that. Moving on to the next one, you have your manual weather location, which is what it sounds like. If you don't want your watch to update your weather while you're traveling and you just want to see your local New York weather, you can set that to your manual location and it'll stay. Weather providers, Yahoo and Open Weather. If you don't like Fahrenheit and you're overseas somewhere, you can change that to Celsius. And there we go, we changed to Celsius. Another cool feature of this watch face is its dual time zone, which I think is placed really nicely. So if we enable dual time zone, and let's see, what's the time in Honolulu? You'll see it adds just a tiny little line underneath your main time that says Honolulu and shows you the time there. And that's also displayed in ambient mode. And I think that's a really nice feature. I like that it's small, so it does not get in the way of your main time. It's just there, and it's big enough that you can see what the actual time is in your desired second time zone. I really appreciate that. Well done for that one. And you see my watch face is a Jabber watch face, but not really. It's Jabber by Thema. So you can name your watch whatever you like. I really like this feature. I know I've said it before, but it's definitely a favorite of mine. Really nice, just adds that little extra customization to your watch that you've just paid for. Next, your screen on duration. I have it on for 30 seconds for this display, but you can change it to 6 seconds all the way up to 30 if you like. If you're not one that likes military time, you can enable your 12-hour mode. And then you also have your leading zeros if you like to see that zero instead. And then a new feature is this vibrate on every hour. So if you'd like to know when every hour is, you can set that. Or if you want to know in a specific time period when it's every hour, say it's getting close to quitting time, you can set it to vibrate from 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. so you know that you only have 2 more hours to go before you can bounce work and go on home and start partying. Another feature you have here is this interactivity mode, and what it'll do, it'll switch the data fields for you. So for example, on the bottom, I have 2 weathers listed. If I want to quickly change that to something else, all I have to do is tap on it and it'll cycle through the available options. I just switched it there and it has the missed calls. If I tap on it again, it's my heart rate. So you get the idea. You can just tap on that if you like and it gets rid of it. Or you can tap on the field again and it'll come back. Now, if you change interactivity to more details, it does exactly what it sounds like. Clicking on the weather, it'll show you more details about that data field. And you can click on that and see your daily forecast there. That's a really nice option. I definitely enjoy being able to change the data fields on the fly. But if you don't like that, you can just have it disabled if you like, and then your fields will stay the same. No accidental touches will change your data fields. And that's basically it. All in all, I think this is definitely worth $1.19. Really, really well-designed watch face. Very modern looking in my opinion, very stylish. Tons of customization available, and for $1.19, it's definitely a win. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this watch face. Definitely go check it out. I will leave the link to the Google Play Store in the bottom. Please thumbs up and subscribe and leave me some comments. I'll catch you guys on the next Watch Face Wednesday. Peace.